In this video, we'll be talking about why you don't need a C200 or EVA-1 to still make cinematic, compelling images. First though, there's a really important thing that I feel like a lot of people aren't taking into consideration. Your vision, your ability to tell a story is ultimately what's going to be more compelling than the actual image. But for the purpose of argument, like, if that doesn't mean anything to you, if you're saying, I already can tell a story, that's why I want a bigger, better camera. My response to you is this: there are so many ways to get that 10-bit 422 4K outside of spending, $6,000 on a camera, because it's eminently feasible to get technology that can enhance and boost the technology that you're already using, like external recorders. Speaking of external recorders, there are products like the Atomos or the Odyssey line of products that can allow you to get very high quality images out of almost any camera. And what you got to take into consideration is you might have to spend $800 or something to get that piece of technology, that external monitor and recorder, in order to be able to get your shot at the color depth that you want and resolution. But even if you want to throw all that away, eschew the monitors and recorders, you're still going to be able to create great images in camera. What you need is enough. So a lot of what I'm saying comes down to tell the story. Don't worry about the image. But that, as we all know, is kind of an extremist point of view. There's a lot more to telling a story than just the story. It's all about the experience that you're giving an audience, and with visual media, the story oftentimes is in the image. That sounds like a contradiction, doesn't it? You can't say the image doesn't matter, but the only way you can tell a story with visual media is by having something to look at. But what I'm trying to mean by that is that although the image is really important, you don't need a RED, you don't need an EVA-1, you don't need a C200 in order to be able to tell a good story visually. What you do need, though, is a camera. And more often than not, cameras these days are really flexible and you can do a whole lot with them. And so when it came out, I was obsessed by the idea of the Sony a7S, a7S II. What really matters to me is that you can be in just about any situation and still make incredible images. But on the other hand, at the time that I got the Alpha 6300, I couldn't really see a good reason to go with any other option. It had all of the features, all of the specifications that I wanted, with all of that ability to build it out over time. It is way too hot out here, so I'm going home. And what's beautiful about the 6300 is that I've already been able to make money with it as a photographer and as a videographer. Most of your clients won't be able to tell the difference between a RED 8K and an 80D as long as you're doing all of your things right behind the camera. Some, of course, will, and that's what makes getting those really big, nice cameras really worthwhile oftentimes. But what you gotta think about is, how do you want to run that business? How are you gonna be effective in that space? What it comes down to, apart from, proper exposure, is effective storytelling and good business sense. Those two will take you further than, the newest, coolest camera. So what I want to leave you with is this, and that is tell stories. Thank you very much for your time and for your attention today. If it provided value to you in any way, please smash that like button. Consider subscribing or hitting that notification bell to see when I bring out more content. So yeah, thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one.